Hi everyone, Darren Jack here from Hall of Fame Collection. I'm joined by a special guest today. We've got fellow Brit actually, Johnny Herbert. Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
Hi everyone. Yeah, really good to be here. Lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Stunning what we've got here. I haven't seen so many helmets in one place. Brilliant.
Tell us a little bit about why you're here in Canada. It's probably been quite a few years since you've even been here.
In Toronto. Yeah, I think I visited here. I think with Mika Hakkinen, so it must have been sort of the early 90s. I think that was sort of the last time I was here. I think. But yeah, obviously we've got the motor show, auto show going on as well. So I sort of visited there yesterday and visiting you today. Which
Great,
is brilliant.
absolutely.
So, yeah,
it's great having
nice
you.
to be back. It's getting a bit cold now.
It is.
It's just started to get real. It was quite warm when I turned up.
Yeah,
it's getting a bit cold.
You're not used to being in Canada in the winter. It's normally Montreal in middle of the summer, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So one thing we like doing here at Hall of Fame Collection, of course, is having helmets, as you mentioned, and we have one here that I wanted to show you. See if you can tell us a little bit about this one.
Aha!
You recognise that one?
Yeah.
It's from 1996.
Yeah. Well, my Sauber time.
Yeah.
After the year at Benetton. Nice to join Sauber, lovely team, Red Bull, and of course Ford. The relationship was still sort of there with the team as well. But some nice times. It's one of those things. There's a lot of sort of good memories. Nice to see her again.
Yeah, absolutely.
A long time. How long ago was it? 18 what?
Yeah, exactly.
It feels that long ago.
It's not that old. It's cool because your helmet design never really changed over the years either, did it?
No, well, I always felt it was, that was me. That's what, I sort of started with. My early days, I must be honest, when I did karting, when I did in Formula 3, I think I just had a white helmet. And it was really when I went into Formula 3000 or F2 as it is today, that I came up with sort of the design, and it was always something where I wanted, especially with the sort of the orange, to stand out. That you could always see me wherever I was on the grid, which was maybe thinking I was going to be further back than I wanted to be. But yeah, it stayed more or less the same. I changed it a little bit. I remember the wife, we put a sort of a Union Jack on the top, but it was just a subtle change. Yeah, because I didn't want to change the fundamentals of what it was. And I get frustrated with the drivers who change it every single race that they go out on now, because that's your identity. You see Ayrton Senna's helmet. Yeah, it's Ayrton Senna's helmet, and
that's right.
Ayrton Senna's helmet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
no, it's really good. It's when you see all these little stick-on things at the back for trying to stop the head buffeting in the car. And I think I did it a little bit later. I actually had two. I stuck there as well, and that again
two
was
vents.
just to stop. Yeah.
It was
cool. It wasn't a vent. It was actually, the vent was there, but it actually stuck two more.
Okay.
And then that stopped the buffeting.
A lot of the people are into collecting cards these days, and we do these box openings. Yeah. You can tell us a few stories about who you come across. And we promise we won't let anybody hear the stories,
No,
I'll start it for you. You can open it up and see what we get. We'll open them together. George Russell.
Mr. Cool, George Russell. Yes. I like George. Saw him in his earlier years, and then I suppose we really saw the George Russell that we see now in an F1 car when he was doing F2. And it was how he conducted himself. Always very, very professional, really sort of worked hard at trying to present himself across to the race fans, but more importantly to the F1 paddock. And I think that's something that George worked very well on, and I have to say, from what we saw last year, it was great to see.
Yeah,
he's
mature.
He's a man on a mission,
isn't he?
Yes, he is, exactly. Yeah,
doesn't seem to ever slip up with it. Usually, not too often anyway. Usually he keeps his emotions in check, and he says the right thing.
Yeah, like you say, very mature for his age, but damn quick as well.
We've got Alfa Romeo. That looks like it's Valtteri Bottas. Yeah,
I think
77.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what do you think of Valtteri now in his new team with that? How's he doing?
I'm not quite sure about facial hair.
You're not going to grow a mustache too?
It would take me years if I was to do that, and it would be some fluffy, horrible thing that would be very irritating for me.
Can we get a mullet at least?
A mullet?
Yeah.
I've gone through a few mullets in my time, I have to say. I'm getting too old.
That's true. You used to rock the curly mullet.
Yeah, yes. Well, in my very early days. Yeah, very early days.
89.
In Formula 4. Well, even before that.
Right.
This really long, curly.
That's right.
Curly
you did.
hair. Yes. No, Valtteri's done a good job. It's been good seeing him do a good job with Alfa, and we'll see what they can do this year.
Let's see what else we get here. So we're looking for some inserts. I'll let you open this one. And I'll whiz through a couple here, see if we can find a good card. We've got a Carlos Sainz refractor card. So that's one of the rare ones. Did you ever collect cards or stickers when you were younger, like football stickers?
Football stickers.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was an electrician.
Okay.
And being he was an electrician, he used to work in a lot of petrol garages to do all the lighting and everything else. So he was always able to sort of bring all the special cards. But I never got a complete set.
No.
After even my dad bringing hundreds back home, I never got sort of a set. So that was about it.
No. Let's see who you got here. Max
I got the world
Verstappen.
champion. Yeah. How exciting is this? This boy?
Well, I know, right? Could break all the records.
Yeah, I think I can, but it's all down to a little bit of luck, being at the right place at the right time. And Max is, there's a wow factor with him. He has his ways. He has his very, very hard driving style. Obviously, many a time where him and Lewis especially seem to, for some reason, to come together.
It's good
a lot.
Seeing that rivalry, though.
Yeah, no, it is. Again, sometimes I sort of look at it and say, come on, boys, you've got to be a little bit more sort of clever with it and stop crashing into each other as much as you do.
Sure.
But I think that's the competitive instinct that both of them have got. So, and there will always be a point that one of them will have the advantage. And it's the one who's got the advantage who can control things that little bit more. But he's so exciting to watch. And even for me, it's just really brilliant to see him do what he's done in the last couple of years. Yeah. Even when he first came into Formula One, when he went into Red Bull in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And when his first race, exactly. To what he's doing now, and again, he's like George. He's only going to get better and better. And it's nice we've got this young generation.
It is
coming through.
Very exciting. Great personalities and all different.
And it's a tough generation as well.
Who's that one? Oh, there's
the other one. There you go. There's the other one. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Again, these two. Still think there's a chance of these two battling it out. But I think that we're going to have to throw him into the mix as well. Lewis has done so much for Formula One and the sport, and it's he's still driving very, very, very well at the moment. Yeah, he's been challenged by George, but I think he's up for that challenge.
Yeah, he's always hungry. He never gets full.
Never does. So I'm glad that we're still going to have that this year.
So I've got some old school 1991 cards here. Actually, 92. So we're going to open a couple of packs.
Right.
So we'll whiz through a few of these packs until we find a Johnny Herbert card. Sound like fun?
Probably at the bottom of the pack somewhere, I would imagine.
We'll see if we can find one. So you can sign one before you leave.
Come on.
Not allowed to leave till we find one.
Straight out.
What we got?
No.
Nigel Mansell.
Nigel Mansell in the Mexican Grand Prix. Well, it's Prado Patrese. Yeah, it's Prado Patrese.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Mexican
Grand Prix.
Beat him
for, well, I should say.
Yes.
Kind of
so 91.
Very under the crowd and stuff.
Yes, it was.
Michael Andretti.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's that season against Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
Spanish Grand Prix, Nigel Mansell winning that one, looking a proud young man. But it was good. It was a nice time for Formula One because the battles of Ferrari and Williams were they were, and they always looked good, the cars as well.
Oh,
like big, bulky, big wide suspension,
the 1990s
which was really good.
To sort of 92 era for me was I mean, as a kid, it was amazing. We got Senna, we got young DC over here that coming up through through the ranks, I guess, in Formula 3.
Fittipaldi as well.
Let's keep going, see if we can
I've got one here. Well, there's a rare one.
There's a Venturi,
Bertrand
Gasho. Of course, Bertrand Gasho and you and Volker Weidler, won the Le Mans 24-hour race in 1991.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And of course beat the Jags. The Jags were all focused on Mercedes and
Mercedes. Yes, indeed. And
what was that like for you doing the 24-hour race and of course winning and obviously with your early career, with your injuries, with your feet, what was that like for you as trying to even get through that race?
Well, for me, Le Mans was all about proving that I could sort of get through a sort of a long endurance race like that, which we were able to do, and then surprisingly we were able to win it at the same time. But that was good because there was Volker was doing Formula One at the time, Bertrand was doing Formula One at the time, and so was I. So we were like the sprint specialists, I suppose, being brought in to basically thrash that Mazda around for the whole of the 24 hours, and it more than coped with that. And then it was everybody else, especially the Mercedes, that was totally dominant, to be perfectly honest. But then we just kept on pushing, and they were, they couldn't back off, and then they had their issues with the belt that broke, if I remember correctly, and that was what sort of put them out of the race and allowed us to sort of come through and win it. So that was really nice. But Bertrand's an interesting story because of how when Bertram was at Jordan, he had an argument with a taxi driver in
Yes,
London.
of
Yes,
course.
yes, and he was sort of
1991.
and he was on his way to a meeting, and he was actually ramming the taxi driver to get out of his way. So the taxi driver stopped, came up to his window, sort of shaking his fist, telling him, "What the hell are you doing?" Everything else, and he had a little pepper spray that he sprayed into the taxi driver's face.
Yeah.
So eventually he had to go to court. I think about six or 8 months later, and got found guilty, got thrown into prison for 6 months. And that allowed Michael Schumacher to come into Formula One.
Yeah, Mr. Balestra.
Mr. Ballet. Now there is a character.
Yeah. It was nice in the Senna movie how it was like...
It was like that. You only see it sort of in one or two. It was every single sort of driver's briefing that we had that those two went at each other every single time. Yeah. But he was one character.
Is the right decision.
Yes.
The best decision is my decision.
But he banged his hand on the table as well.
Only the driver.
Yeah.
He always said, "Not about you. It's about Formula One. You, not important."
Yeah, the driver's not too important.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't really like us at all. No, not at all.
Villeneuve, Senna, Eric
Comas, Eric Comas there. Nigel Mansell again. Yes, okay. Another win was that French Grand Prix.
I'm making it worse for you, Anna. All these memories of Mansell.
Yes, I know. Yeah, Mansell. No, Nigel. Unbelievable driver. Christian Fittipaldi.
Yeah.
Richo Gugelmin. Was the man who did Formula One and IndyCar at the same time.
Yeah.
Good guy. Yeah, really nice.
Who's this fella?
There we go.
Hey.
Oh, that was
It's Johnny Herbert.
It is Johnny Herbert it says 107, but it's actually a 10. It's a 102.
Will you sign that one for us?
I can sign it for you. Yes, indeed.
There we go. We got an autograph card from Johnny Herbert.
Thank goodness we found one.
I know. Otherwise, you'd be here all night.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. But good times. We make it happen.
Speaking of good times, here's you and Michael Schumacher in 1995.
Yeah, Barcelona.
Tell us a little bit about, what he was like to be a teammate. I know he was probably a very tough competitor.
Michael, great sense of humour. You could have a lot of fun with him, but there was always a point where the fun stopped, and the competitive Michael Schumacher came out, and he was very tough. And what he was able to do was take all the energy from me and try and sort of use all that for his own good. But Michael, no, very, very special. Had a very different way about going about racing.
But there was some success, of course.
Ah, yes.
British Grand Prix 1995.
Yeah, looking a bit young there, aren't I? Yeah,
you look pretty good there, yeah.
A bit mullety.
So we got
mullety, yeah.
95, you win the British Grand Prix.
I look the same. No, it's not the same. But
not,
really
not too far off.
Yeah, not too far off.
And
thank you.
That was a pretty amazing race. Obviously, Schumacher, as we were talking about, got into an accident with Damon Hill, which was quite rare. But
that's probably what that face is.
Yeah, exactly. He's grumpy about it. But what was that like, winning the British Grand Prix at home in front of that amazing fans, and your parents were there, of course. I think they were running the merchandise trailer
on the other side of
Woodcut. They grabbed a flag and ran.
They did quite well that day.
Yeah,
I think they sold everything.
Yeah, I think they probably did. A lot of fans and good memories from then, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it was just very special because obviously all my earlier career from Formula 4, 1600, Formula 4, 2000, Formula 3, Formula 3000 as well was, a lot of it was done at Silverstone. So we all knew the track. I know it changed sort of over the years, but we all knew the track very, very well. But to be able to get yourself in that position, especially for me after the accident that I had back in 1988, the last lap I do remember was basically reminiscing about after everything I've gone through, all the emotions, the emotions, but the pain that I had to go through to just get myself back into a racing car, let alone a Formula One car, was all worthwhile. Yeah, because I finally had sort of achieved that goal that I wanted to try and do when I was 10, 11 years old. And then it was actually sort of happening in front of my eyes, and just seeing the sea of British fans with the Union Jacks and the Johnny Go flags that were going around as well. And that was just a wonderful thing to see. And then once it sort of I went across the line with the checkered flag, it was then finishing off that sort of, everything I'd gone through to get there, but then suddenly being able to enjoy the moment.
you know the story about like the 15-year-old boy who was your fan, right? Like you know that story about the British fan?
Go on.
Yeah.
I think I can remember. Go on.
So there's a British fan, and he was watching you win the British Grand Prix, and he's pretty bullish, and he busted his way into the F1 paddock.
And he got in.
Yeah. Anyway, he made it on the cover of the magazine.
Indeed.
Anyway, I've got a surprise for you.
The
British fan is actually here.
Right,
the 15-year-old boy.
Where
He's
is
a
he?
little bit older now.
No! Yes, I'm looking.
And this British fan loved souvenirs, and he loved being in there, you know. And
He got
that day, he was in the garage, this 15-year-old boy, and he turns around and some girl was getting your podium bottle, and and you signed it, and she took the winning podium bottle. Anyway, the 15-year-old boy turns around to the mechanics and sees that they've got one too, and says, "Can I have that?" And he said, "Sure." So the 15-year-old boy got it signed.
Hey!
And one of my first memorabilia pieces came from your win in '95, and you signed it.
Yeah. Like it.
So
now that was a good story. That was brilliant. That was really
and
good.
Flavio
really
took your cap, didn't he?
No, he didn't take my cat. He asked
for it. And do you have many?
Did you get it back?
No.
Damn it! Don't find it.
Do you have many? I will. Yeah, I'll try and work on that.
Yes.
We'll get Flavio in for an interview and steal it. Did you get many souvenirs from that day then, or?
I can't remember if I've got a bottle. I think I've got a bottle of it.
Well, you should put that in your collection. This is from me.
Oh,
you can have it for your office.
It's another cuddle.
Remember, it's been with me since 1995, and I bought with my own money 2 F1 news magazines that day. So I've got one.
Wow.
I've got one here for me and one for you.
Oh.
And so you enjoy that and put it to that, and you can remember your time when you came to visit Darren and his collection.
That's lovely.
Took a couple of souvenirs out.
Bless you. Bless you. You're the best.
You made it fun for us, so at least I can do. And
wonderful. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Nice day.
Nice day.
For us both.
Yeah. Now we'll go drink some champagne.
Yeah, let's go and do a little bit. Done.
All right.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Really good
Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to our videos and follow us on social media too.